Different types of vocabulary. Traditionally, two categories of vocabulary are distinguished, passive and active. 1. Read with a dictionary. Target vocabulary primarily targets passive and catachrestic vocabularies. I started the practice of reading with a dictionary when I was studying for the SATs. I just couldn't ever get into flashcards, but I knew I wanted to bump up my verbal score. So, I purchased a pocket Oxford English dictionary, and anytime I encountered a word I didn't know, I'd look it up. 2. Build a personal dictionary and practice. Target vocabulary primarily targets active vocabulary. A few years ago, in an attempt to improve my active vocabulary, I started building a personal dictionary in a Google Doc that I called Words to Study, Learn, Love, Use, Forget, Remember. Initially, the document consisted of about 100 entries. At the time of this writing, there are nearly 1,000. 3. Study Indo-European languages, especially Latin. Target vocabulary primarily targets etymological and passive vocabularies. In the spring of my freshman year in college, I took a course on Greek and Roman literature. During one of my section classes, our eccentric teaching assistant was going off about how even educated native English speakers tend not to know the grammar of their mother tongue. 4. Get to know some roots and etymology. Target vocabulary primarily targets etymological and passive vocabularies. This last suggestion is straightforward. Find out the history of unfamiliar words. Learn where they come from. Discover why they came to mean what they mean. My favorite etymological resource, and by far the most comprehensive free resource I know of, is etymonline.com, a gigantic, online, searchable dictionary with its own app and Google extension. A final word: I imagine that some readers came to this article hoping to find quick tips and tricks. I also imagine that encountering suggestions like "read with a dictionary for several years" or "learn Latin" feels irksome, disheartening, and impractical.